from a very snowy St. Albans. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special Northwest Access TV broadcast of Franklin County's finest rivalry. It is MVU and BFA in St. Albans, 2 nights before Christmas. I'm Wesley Kempton, joined by my friend Bryce Batchelder. Bryce, early in the season, a lot of unknowns from both of these teams, but it is always exciting when these two teams face off, no matter what the conditions.
Conditioning meaning the snow outside, right? That puts the extra cherry on top of this. We always look forward to an MVU BFA game. In different conferences now, or divisions, so we don't get this game as often as we used to. So it's kind of a special one when this game comes up once a year. As we get started, I'll give you starters for the teams. First for the visiting Thunderbirds. Sophomore number 3, RJ Tardif, a freshman number 12, Mason File, a senior number 14, Drew Wood, a senior number 21, Trenton Gardner, and a junior number 22, John Tanner. The Thunderbirds are coached by Michael Moshevetis. And for the home team, the Bobwhites, a sophomore number 10, Lucas Robert, a junior number 11, Trip Raptoy, a junior number 14, Max Sweeney, a junior number 22, Mac Alberico, and a senior number 43, Ryan Munger, who you see right there. And they are coached by Tristan Menard.
BFA very aggressive in the early going as we get a drive and a miss. The defense has been impressive. They were coming out with a full court press and letting off a little bit as the Bobwhites in a man. But even as I say they're letting off a little bit, you still see how intense this defense is from the Bobwhites early in this contest.
Well, the Bobwhites having a great start to their season in general. Part of that is the defense. They're starting 2-0 this year. The Thunderbirds, though, still looking for their first win, 0-3, and what a win it could be to pull off an upset here at BFA. But BFA right now averaging about twice as many points per game as MVU is. Open look, couldn't quite get it to finish for Tanner. But on the defensive end, BFA averages about 66 points per game. BFA are holding their opponents to around 52 points per game. And so you wonder if MVU can kind of hold down that deficit there, and that, I think, might be the key if they can pull off an upset here.
That was the first shot attempt that we've seen from BFA in this contest. That kind of got some jitters in the early going. As we see Munger outside with a great feed. 2 layups missed for the 2 teams in this contest, and good recovery defense from Mason File to take it away. File is just a freshman player for the Thunderbirds, and when you talk about MVU and the lack of experience, it has to be mentioned the incredible senior class that they lost last year, and it's a program that is rebuilding. BFA, meanwhile, looking incredibly strong with their young players. Sophomore Lucas Robert gets the first points of the game off of a steal. Again, coming back to that defense, there's another steal attempt. Drew Wood trying to get it back, and the Thunderbirds scrambling. It has been messy in the early going, and a turnover as Tanner dribbles on the sideline in front of the Bobwhite bench.
Really fast start. Really fast start.
Munger thought he'd slow it down then with tying his shoes. But the defensive intensity for BFA has been noticeable, even though their offense hasn't yet clicked. Just 2 points for them in this first 2.5 minutes. Good screen for Munger, who's going to roll in. Munger with the easy lay-in. Not going to miss from there.
Classic pick and roll.
And another steal for the Bobwhites.
Classic pick and roll, and I don't know why more high school programs don't just run that a ton. But, you have someone with the height of Ryan Munger, and that makes the pick and roll so much more effective.
The matchup disparity, as great effort there again from Mason File, almost getting another steal. And unfortunately for him, just sort of knocked it off of his own knee there. But really promising stuff from this young player for the Thunderbirds, even though, as you mentioned, MVU still looking for their first win. Well, to see a freshman who's got the awareness of that player, really, really promising.
Mason File, MVU hasn't won a game yet, but Mason File's been scoring in double digits. Had 15 in their game against Richford as a freshman.
Munger missed on the long shot. We'll see how many deep attempts we see from the big fella. MVU's offense, miscommunication. It's going to be hard enough with the defensive pressure that they're facing from BFA. Not going to do themselves any favors throwing it away like that.
Yeah, this is one of those games for MVU that even with the defensive pressure, they have to be super careful just to make the sure pass, right? Can't really take many chances, not huge margin for error here.
A good drive and dish, three-pointer no good as Trenton Gardner gets the rebound and carries it across the timeline. Good pressure defense as he searches for options, throws it away, another Thunderbird turnover.
I mentioned MVU need to make the safe passes, but this BFA defense isn't going to make that easy for them.
There's not a lot of safe passes.
There aren't safe passes right now. Credit BFA's defense.
And Gardner had to, he picked up his dribble. He had to throw the ball to somebody. Unfortunately for him, nobody was open. Two cutters open there for Munger. Impressive for the Bobwhites not to have lost the ball.
Munger has about a full head on Drew Wood.
And with a lot of contact.
Yeah.
Not sure who they're going to call it on.
Called that on Wood.
Well, as you mentioned, Bryce, Wood's got his hands full. He's doing all that he can.
Yep.
He's, I think we call him a forward for the
Sure.
Thunderbirds, whereas Munger, whether they label him a forward or not, he's clearly a center. And it's going to be a real matchup issue, not just for the Thunderbirds, but pretty much any team in Vermont high school basketball who's going to go against BFA this year.
Yep, absolutely. And the way you sort of have to guard that with that type of height disparity is you're really not going to have a great chance if Munger can get the ball in the spot that he wants it to. And so you kind of have to do all the off-ball defense and try to push him off his spot to make him get the ball where he doesn't want it, and have to work extra hard to kind of get to the spot where he does want to take a shot. But Munger is real strong, so definitely way easier said than done.
It's not an easy task. There was good low post defense there, however, from John Tanner, who broke up a shot. Munger kept it alive, and on the second possession there, the Bobwhites are able to get it. How about another turnover and another layup? Just like that, it is 8-0 Bobwhites. And MVU looking kind of like a deer in the headlights here, with a timeout coming from Coach Moshavidas. Well, with that timeout, it's a good opportunity for us to give a nod to some of our incredible community partners who have made this broadcast possible. Northwest Counseling and Support Services, the Afterglow Foundation, Northwestern Rehab Services, My Healthy Vermont, Notch, Stone's Auto in St. Albans and in Fairfield, Stewart's Clarence Brown, Handy Cars, Union Bank, JC Image, and Collins Purley Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to join our community partners and contribute to the production of these games, you can contact Paul Snyder, our fearless director at Northwest Access TV, 802-782-8676. You can also check us out online, northwestaccess.tv. Or if you are streaming us online right now, I'm sure you can follow the channels through whichever avenue you are using to watch this broadcast. It was kind of slow going for the first 2 minutes or so, but BFA is starting to roll. They got their last 4 points in a span of about 4 seconds.
Right before that happened, I was about to make the comment, this game feels like it should be way more than a 4-0 game with how fast it's been, and then BFA beat me to it.
Well, and also, and I mentioned John Tanner on the defensive end a second ago. Tanner had the layup attempt. We really have not seen a shot attempt for the Thunderbirds outside of that shot. And we're not going to get one on this possession either. Another turnover. Bobwhites coming the other way, almost losing the dribble. And the pivot foot slides from Sullivan Stebbins. Turnover for BFA.
But the big difference in this game right now, BFA with 4 steals. MVU doesn't have any right now. And MVU has been on defense a lot this game.
Foul over to Tardif. RJ Tardif loses the ball. BFA with numbers. BFA with another lay-in. A 10-0 lead. Tanner finds File. File trying to weave through the middle. Goes back to Tanner. Tanner faces that defense, goes outside again to File, crossing over, almost losing it. Lost the dribble, keeps the ball.
MVU is just bunching up a ton on offense. Love to see them spread things out a little bit, try to spread out BFA's defense a little bit, and I think, you know, that's part of what's causing problems. Obviously, BFA's aggressiveness on defense. There's a decent look for I
think that was Kemper Tehan down low.
Yep, Tehan doesn't go, but get those looks if you're able to spread out your offense a little bit, and that spreads out the defense. But at one point, all 5 MVU players was on the same half of the court and didn't give them any passing lanes.
Isaac Brandon checks in, number 12. As the switching of the hands, great driving from Ryan Lockerbie.
Did you see the spin on that ball?
I did. It almost looked like he was going to lose his footing, was able to stay up. That alone was impressive. Then to keep the coordination, to keep the direction towards the hoop, switch the hands, finish. What a play there. Two-team fouls for MVU. That's the first for BFA. File being guarded by Trip Raptoy. Trip Raptoy, another steal. He's got a half dozen already. Make that 8 for Trip Raptoy.
With a couple steals to boot.
File, pass up ahead to Tardif. Tardif is going to lose it.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see what MVU's doing on that side. They've been dribbling towards the middle across half court, and BFA has just kind of been trapping them right in the middle. So that time they tried to go more to the corner. Did get it over, had a decent look, but a little off balance.
Nice baseline cut and finish from Sullivan Stebbins. File doing what he can, lost, almost looked like he rolled his ankle. I think he might have, as you see him sort of adjusting the bottom of his shoe. Another Thunderbird turnover. Raptoe looking baseline, trying a 3. No good, and the rebound to File. File, an outlet to Wood. Wood just keeps that dribble alive. And they're going to try to run some offense here. It's hard. Look at that incredible suffocation, and the heel touched the timeline.
Yeah, you just can't pick up the ball right there. You got to get a little deeper. But again, credit BFA's defense.
To BFA's credit,
it is just smothering.
Wherever MVU has picked up the ball, the defense has been absolutely
really
in their
incredible.
face. Here's Lockerbie, and a great feed and a great finish from Sullivan Stebbins. Excuse me, it was Lockerbie who they give it to. I looked down at the wrong time. Here's Stebbins, though, picking it up with a feed. And how about double-digit points for Trip Raptoy in the first quarter alone? On pace for 40, and another steal for Raptoy. Outside, the extra pass, the three-pointer. No good, and File tries to get some transition action for the Thunderbirds. Jump stop, puts it up, no good. And here come the Bobwhites. Pass up ahead, and Lockerbie has himself a half dozen. Munger checks back into the contest. Good backing down and good hands from Tanner to poke it away from Munger. But you talked about the bunching that MVU has done on offense. On defense, with Munger inside, there were 3 Thunderbird defenders around him.
Yeah, and as you said, a really good read from Tanner. Just saw that all the way where that pass was trying to go.
Great screen to open up the three-pointer, no good. And the rebound goes to MVU's Kemper Tehan. Under 30 seconds in the first. Tehan up top. Finds Gardner. Gardner finds File. Flip over to Wood. Back to the corner. File for three, no good. And the Bobwhites get the rebound. Pass up ahead to Munger. Munger's going to keep it. No whistle. Finally a whistle, and it's going to be a block. Not surprisingly, this call is being made by the MVU side of things.
Gardner hit his head really hard on the floor when he fell.
Gardner also is avoiding eye contact with the trainer, who is instructed by the official to come out and do a quick concussion check.
No blue tent here, though.
We don't have the blue tent. This is visible for all to see.
Wesley, play-by-play of the concussion check?
Well, I thought about it. We got the arms up. You know, to somebody who wouldn't know what's going on, it looks an awful lot like a sobriety check, at least according to the films. Munger's first free throw off the back iron. Yes, we joked about not having the blue tent. I am really shocked that they are doing this check so close. He's arm's length from the court right now. Gets the green light, but because he was checked, he's got to sit out for a moment. And the roll on the second one falls for Munger. 23 in the first quarter for the Thunderbirds. Big pass up ahead from Wood. Too far up ahead from Wood. And not touched by anyone. BFA is going to get one last chance in this first quarter from under their own basket. Great pass as Munger gets the easy bucket. 25 first quarter points for the Bobwhites. And no shot put up before the buzzer. That was a clinic, as after one quarter we are on pace for a 100-0 contest. I don't say that.
Realistic, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I don't say it to rub it in. But statistically, we don't get the opportunity to see a scoreboard like that every day. So it is notable when you see a quarter that ends up with that result. Let's update a little more. Not update, but let's give some more shout-outs. Northwest Counseling and Support Service and the Afterglow Foundation are partnering to raise awareness and prevent suicide in our community. If you or someone you care about is struggling, just remember, we are here for you 24/7 and completely confidential. Call NCSS Emergency Services anytime at 802-524-6554, then press 1. Or connect with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling, texting, or chatting at 988. One call, one text, or one chat could save a life.
Well, scoring leaders so far. All scores have been on the BFA side, led by Trip Raptoy with 10 points in the first quarter alone. Lockerbie with 6, Munger with 5, Robert and Stebbins each chipping in a pair of points apiece. That's some nice alliteration right there, if I may say so myself.
A lot of alliteration from anxious anchors placed in powerful posts.
Yes.
You haven't seen broadcast news?
I watched a clip in a film class in college one time.
You have your
the famous Judd Hirsch one.
I don't. Yes. Judd?
I may be talking about a different movie.
I think you are.
Beginning of the movie flips out live on camera. Don't worry about it. We're watching a basketball game.
I don't think you're thinking of the right movie. Here come the Bobwhites to start off the second quarter. It took him 10 seconds to keep it going as Anthony Fontaine gets on the board, his first pair.
We do have 24 more minutes to figure out if I'm talking about the right movie or not.
It's Albert Brooks. as a travel from Lucas Roberts. An uncharacteristic turnover for the Bobwhites. Here come the Bobwhites the other way. That phrase, "here come the Bobwhites," has been said a lot of times this evening as Tanner
Find a new slant, Wesley.
I'll consider how I can rephrase that. Tanner with a hard foul, his second.
You can pull up ChatGPT, offer some suggestions.
I will absolutely never do that. And the fact that you would suggest that in a public school is upsetting.
Tanner tracks down the long rebound. Oh, nice pass across the lane. Blocked by Michael LaValle.
Teahan's going to be at the line for the best scoring chance that MVU's had of the night.
The BFA student section didn't love that foul call, but their student sections are often known for their reason,
The rationale.
not being biased in the least.
MVU on the board. A free throw from Kemper Teahan.
And I say this all loving student sections.
Yes. That's the point of them. It makes it great. Good movement from the Bobwhite attack. Munger finds a cutter. Great flip behind the head from from Isaac Brannon. The other number 12. Both 12s matched up with each other.
Now, I will say Mason File had the right idea on that defensively, where Drew Wood was guarding Munger, and then Mason File, as his man came by, File came and started double teaming Munger, but Munger was just too fast with the pass. But that's the right play by File.
A rebound here from Gage Medor. Medor is going to find File, who gets blocked by Munger. Munger keeps the ball in play. Outlet pass. And patience from Isaac Brannon to just slow things down, set things up. He's going to think about a shot. Drives, kicks out. Another drive and kick to a cutter. What a pass, what a finish. And that was Michael LaValle. Beautiful assist there from Anthony Fontaine. And a steal. Brannon. It's a 32-point lead. Timeout called for by Moshevitas. Bryce, if you are MVU right now, you're not really sure where to begin.
Yeah.
On one hand, you want to focus on slowing down BFA's defense. On the other hand, slowing down BFA's offense. But on the other hand, BFA's offense is being fueled by their defense, and MVU offensively doesn't seem to have any tool in the tool bag to be able to make something develop offensively. How do you force BFA to reduce their intensity on defense?
You ask them nicely. Whisper sweet nothings into their ear.
In the spirit of the holiday season, maybe they'll consider playing less intense defense.
Yes. Spirit of giving. Yeah, I mean, basketball fundamentals tells you if you're MVU, you need to figure out how to slow down your offense, right? As you said, BFA is not letting that happen, and I'm not sure if they're really giving MVU any of the looks in order to make that happen, but that's kind of what you have to do if you're MVU. You need to figure out, the big issue is that MVU is getting stuck between the half-court line and the three-point line. And they need to figure out how can we push the ball inside the three-point line and then start to slow things down and reduce the turnovers that BFA is forcing. But as we've seen with this smothering BFA defense, That's way easier said than done. I'm sort of talking basketball theory at this point.
Well, once again, BFA drives baseline and finds a cutter. This time it's Sullivan Stebbins. Wood from the elbow, kicks to the corner. Tanner driving in. Pivots around, but the defense not letting up at all. Tanner tries to follow his shot.
Well,
it looks like it's going to be MVU ball into their own hoop.
BFA kind of started in a matchup zone that possession, and MVU actually made the right first play where they got the ball to File at the high post. But now they need someone who's cutting in on the baseline to try to get behind the defense. That was sort of a piece that was missing there. As File gets maybe the best look that MVU has had on offense all game so far.
And unfortunately comes up empty. What a great no-look pass and a finish from Mac Albrico. Stebbins with the pass. Bobwhites with another steal. Kick outside. Raptoy for three. Well, he had been on the bench in the first couple of minutes of this quarter after scoring double digits in the first quarter. He let it be known that he is back. Here's a steal. Max Sweeney. It was blocked by File. They're going to call goaltending. Maybe? No. It is a goaltend. Well, Bryce, when I was a freshman in high school, or really at any age, I don't think I was ever able to elevate and commit a goaltending violation.
Me neither, Wesley.
Drew Wood gets inside the key, kicks outside. Gardner to File. File tried to turn and draws a foul.
I do goaltend on my kids a whole lot.
The little tyke hoop really has enhanced my ability to
yes,
goaltend,
yes.
I'll say, yeah.
And a dunk, I tell you.
Yeah.
To be able to dunk without jumping
Great.
really just saves your knees.
And my self-esteem is
Through the roof.
Through the roof.
I can tell you are glowing.
Thank you. I didn't know that it was that obvious, but here's Gardner. Gardner also drawing a foul.
MVU's trying to split the defense a lot, and that's getting them into trouble.
Good awareness from Drew Wood to jump on the spot, recover what was almost another Thunderbird turnover. File suffocated. 3.5 to play in the second quarter.
I think one of the other things I'm noticing with MVU is when they pick up the ball, they're often off balance a lot. And I think a firm pivot step would actually make a huge difference for them.
Also, the pace has significantly shifted in the last minute and a half, I'll say, with MVU being able to draw several fouls. You look at the team fouls right now, and it's 5 for the Bobwhites, 1 for the Thunderbirds. Part of that has to do with the fact that BFA isn't really running full offensive sets, which reduces MVU's opportunity to foul anyway. There's the second point of the game, another free throw, this time from the senior captain, Trenton Gardner. Two for two is number 21. BFA immediately rockets the other way. Gardner with a steal. And he lays it in. Well, there's 4 quick points for the Thunderbirds from their senior, Trenton Gardner. And here's Drew Wood. After the ball was poked, Wood going up with Munger. And Munger, not fooled by the shot fakes, gets his second block of the night. That was an incredible,
That was an incredible split.
move to go through the two defenders.
Yes.
But unfortunately for Levi Walters there, he could not get the finish. Beautiful drive, though, as Wood continues to use everything he can to try to gain an inch on Munger. MVU keeping everybody outside right now with Munger inside.
Yeah, I actually think that MVU should try posting up somebody different down low just to draw Munger out of the middle. Try to give MVU more of an open lane.
Like Gardner, who's down
yes,
there now.
Yes, that's perfect. Munger's still kind of lurching over there, waiting for the help side, but at least he's not directly in the key anymore.
File lost his dribble. Not a lot of options. Has it poked. Drew Wood has it. Under 2 to play in the second quarter.
This is also probably the longest possession that MVU has had this game. And a lot of it is they are able to kind of slow down the pace. And so BFA is not getting as much pressure and not creating the turnovers.
It's also really hard to stay that intense defensively for that long, as what a finish from File. There's a crossover, a spin, and use the glass as some great defense from Gardner to get a block.
MVU's on a 6-0 run right now.
Don't look now. But you called it. It's slowing down the pace, as you see.
Yep.
How about getting Drew Wood completely out of the paint altogether and drawing Munger out there with him? Twice on this possession, it felt as if Drew Wood was going to lose the ball, but they kept it. Unfortunately, couldn't get any points. And here come the Bobwhites. Before the shot, it looked to me like a good pivot from Sullivan Stebbins, but called for the travel.
Yeah, I sort of think the move.
Momentum might have moved him a little bit after the jump stop.
I do think the move for MVU is have Drew Wood. Well, Munger's out of the game now, but when Munger checks back in, have Drew Wood kind of wander around the three-point line, and the only time he goes down is if he can cut and get a step on Munger just to try to get a quick layup. But other than that, hang out outside.
Thunderbirds keep possession, though I don't think they realized that. 3 of them were heading the other way. Under a minute to play in this first half. It's a 42-7 lead. Feed to Wood. Wood hits the rim, but can't get it to fall.
Now is the time for MVU to get the ball down low to Drew Wood with Munger out of the game. Little bit of a strong shot, but those are the looks that MVU wants.
Well, Gardner, who is by a long shot, MVU's leading scorer in this one. Goes 1 of 2. Great rotation from the Bobwhites as Isaac Brannon draws a foul. That was such fantastic movement from BFA's offense. Brandon had a wide open lane. Brandon, who has a mustache to rival yours and mine. Goes 2 for 2.
I wasn't able to grow a mustache like that in high school, I'll tell you that right now.
BFA timeout, I believe. Nope, water spot in front of the BFA bench. Maybe somebody might have spilled a little bit of water.
I would like to take this moment to recognize and congratulate Coach Moshevetis on his Christmas outfit for this game. Really just a stellar choice. I'm fully on board with it.
Yeah, it shows incredible confidence, if not the most savvy. That said, I just noticed the shoes. Did you notice the shoes?
Oh yeah, the shoes are great.
It's got like the Santa belt buckle on it. That really ties it all together. The different shape on each kneecap is interesting too. We got a reindeer on the left knee, and it looks like an elf on the right one.
That takes effort and coordination.
And
I applaud him.
And a faithful Amazon Prime account, I'm assuming. Kemper Tehan is back at the line where he had gone 1 for 2. Misses the first. And misses the second. Rebound to Fontaine. Fontaine the other way to Brandon. Brandon with a quick crossover outside. Shot fake as we see Nolan Horgan driving in, missing. Stealing it back. And Horgan among the trees finds the ball back in his hands for a corner three. No good. Another offensive rebound. That's 3 this possession. And BFA comes up empty. So only 19 points in the second quarter for the Bobwhites. But after 2 quarters, BFA leads it 44-8. We'll give you some scores and stat updates. But we'll take a quick halftime break for Northwest Access TV. I'm Wesley Kepton alongside Bryce Batchelder. Don't go anywhere. The second half coming up soon. Welcome back for the second half of Northwest Access TV's coverage of Franklin County's favorite rivalry, or at least one of them, MVU versus BFA in varsity boys basketball. Bryce, you and I are going to be, I think, trying to do an MVU BFA girls basketball game just after Christmas. But for now, 2 days before December 25th, we are here on a very, very snowy Tuesday night as BFA has been dominant through the first 16 minutes with a 36-point first half lead, and it looks like the opportunity to build on to here. Munger with a big poke, but not able to reel it in. 44-8 our halftime score. Maybe update everybody on some of our scoring leaders after that first half of play.
Absolutely. Scoring leader for the game, Trip Raptoy, 13 points, leads all scores, scored 10 of those in the first quarter. And then Isaac Brannon and Sullivan Stebbins each with 6 apiece. Ryan Munger with 5, Ryan Lockerbie with 4. Basket does not count. And for MVU, Trenton Gardner, their leading scorer with 5 of their 8 points. Mason File with a couple, and Kemper Tien with a free throw, let's say.
A free throw.
A free throw.
Our game scoring leader, Trip Raptoy, almost got 3 more. It's a beautiful 3, but the moving screen is what nullified that shot. So MVU going to see if they can hit double digits on this possession. Wood behind the 3-point line. Gardner tried to drive in, but the 2 cutting teammates made it crowded over there. File trying to stick his nose in there, but can't get the steal. Here's Raptoy, 4-3, and that's now 16 points for the junior guard. Trip Raptoy having a great evening here in St. Albans.
And I'll also call out that was Max Sweeney's 3rd steal of the night.
That's probably a real fierce competition to see who's going to finish the game leader for the Bobwhites in that category. Gardner being guarded well by Lucas Robert. And for the Thunderbirds, Luke Howe is the dribbler right now. Off the loose ball, it is going to go BFA's way.
I know it was poked from behind in a turnover, but we'll say that MVU was getting some cleaner looks there because they were really spreading out their offense. The 4 guys outside the 3-point line and just kind of running a screen up top.
3-pointer falls for Lucas Robert. Back-to-back long balls for the Bobwhites. Robert just a sophomore. And speaking of sophomores, RJ Tardif.
You can tell Sweeney was trying to force Tardif to go to his left.
I had said Luke Howe earlier and realized now that it was Tardif. I had seen the number incorrectly. First foul for Lucas Robert. Tanner. It does seem that Drew Wood is, again, one of the few seniors, just 3 on this MVU squad. He's the trustworthy hand who's the recipient of most of their inbound passes. But we've really seen some great leadership from John Tanner as he gets his first basket of the game with a really difficult finish right there.
That was all because of strength. He just kind of barreled his way through the lane. Tough finish, but MVU will take it any way they can get it right now.
They've now got double digits. File to Tanner. Tanner being guarded way out by Mac Albrico. As File loses it, Raptoy flips it up. Tanner with the board. Back to File. In transition, almost loses it. Just gives a little 2-hand push pass up ahead to Gardner. Gardner drives to his left. Sees nothing. File from the corner is not going to have anything, and they work it back around up top. File with the step back, didn't have any space created. Woods calling a play. Munger kind of ignored that screen.
going to say the height difference on that screen. Might need to try to call that screen with someone else.
Munger maybe going to be credited with 2 blocks on that play. It was physical for Tanner. I think that was maybe Tanner realized he should just try to pass. But definitely a block on Drew Wood. How many is it? 3 or 4 blocks for Munger?
4 blocks.
Make that 5.
Well, he got called on the foul on that one.
Well, it's been pretty clean. That is just his 2nd personal foul. First time that Drew Wood's going to the line.
We'll say what's interesting, Munger not as active rebounding so far, but I think a big part of that is that MVU just probably, they haven't had a ton of shots, honestly.
Wood's first free throw, back iron, no good. As a couple of substitutions for BFA. We've got Lucas Robert back in the game. Max Sweeney is back in as well. Sweeney's a really fun player to watch. There were a couple games last year I was on the call that he kind of just had a really enthusiastic energy.
Pause right now. Wood with some blood on his arm. We're looking to just wipe it off.
All right, now he's back to try that 2nd free throw. And off the back iron again. Tanner's hands get in there, but it's going to be BFA ball.
Never thought I'd say this, but I think a graduating class should gift BFA a blue tent.
I don't know where you would put it here. I guess like maybe to the left of the stands over here.
I mean, there's the little room, you know, next to the stage.
By the ice maker. Maybe right behind us.
I guess there is just a trainer room back there.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Munger looked like good touch, but just rolled out off the front of the iron. Gardner unable to reel in the board, and it will stay BFA ball under their own hoop. Well, exactly how they drew it up. Give the tallest guy the ball right next to the basket. Munger scores again.
That tends to work. Munger with 7 points now tonight. And I mean, that's basically the inbounds pass they've been making that look the whole game, every time.
File met with a hand in his face. Good defense from Sullivan Stevens as the shot attempt no good. Bounces up on the stage near us.
We'll say, you know, we've mentioned MVU had a huge graduating class. I believe only 3 players returning from last year on the varsity squad. Mason File is someone that I am excited to watch develop over the next few years. Freshman, hasn't, you know, only 2 points tonight, but as we said at the beginning of the game, has scored in double digits multiple games so far this season, and I'm willing to bet he's not done growing yet.
He was the one who had the goaltending violation earlier.
Which is one more goaltending violation than I ever had in my varsity career.
Yeah. I can't insult you if you embrace it, so You leave me with few options here.
Strategery.
3 to play in the third quarter. Good pivot and shot from Ryan Lockerbie, but it does not fall. Foul. It's like he's got rubber ankles, does Foul. There's been a couple times that it's looked to me like he's painfully rolled it and hasn't even hobbled off of that. Throws this one away. And with the left hand, mind you, Anthony Fontaine gets the transition bucket to fall.
Now with 6 points. Felt like we were stuck at 50-10 for about 2 or 3 minutes, and now BFA having another one of their bursts.
And Coach Moshevitas wants to give his team a breather. 2:19 on the clock in the third period. A good time for us to remind you that this broadcast is made possible through our community partners, such as Northwestern Counseling and Support Services, the Afterglow Foundation, Northwestern Rehab Services, My Healthy Vermont, Notch, Stones Auto in St. Albans and Fairfield, Stewart's Clarence Brown, Handy Cars, Union Bank, JC Image, and Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center. If your business, or even just you, we'd take private supporters. If you want to join this list of partners and contribute to the production of these games, you can contact our friend Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV, 802-782-8676. Gardner trying to go inside, a great idea to Kemper Tehan, but the pass had a little bit too much juice behind it. Another turnover for the blue and white.
But that's the look. That's the look.
It was that screen and roll like
Yep.
you've talked about. And back on the other end, Kemper Tehan, active hands, not able to get the steal, but the right idea pokes the ball free. Gardner breaking up that pass intended for Anthony Fontaine. And this time it appears that it went off of Fontaine, so Missisquoi keeps it. Foul goes up top, swinging it around. A dangerous bounce pass there as Wood is called for the charge, lowering his shoulder. Wood still debating that call. Pretty clearly lowered his shoulder on that one.
Lowered the shoulder, and I will also say an excellent fall by Ryan Lockerbie.
A drive in, and Fontaine able to draw some contact. No hard foul, but slapped by enough people, eventually you get the call. Foul being called by Drew Wood. So back-to-back fouls from Drew Wood, the charge and then the foul on the arm in the other end. Wood has not connected for any points so far for the Thunderbirds. However, clearly an essential player for this squad, logging a lot of minutes this season.
Well, and has had the tough task of trying to guard Ryan Munger, who, as we said earlier, probably has a full head on Drew Wood in terms of height.
Great tenacity as it's ripped away by Nolan Horrigan. But the other way, Gardner finds Wood. Shot fake, and he is on the board now. Great head fake. Great head fake from Nolan Horrigan. That's twice that we've seen some great plays from him. Just has not got the roll or the bounce at the hoop.
And it's the mix of the fake that he does, and then he's so fast, right, to follow it up.
That absolutely made the defender bite. File. Goes in, and then back up top, Wood. Not lowering his shoulder this time. Tries a kind of a almost hook. Horrigan goes outside. Kicks out, three-pointer launch, three-pointer off the back iron. Offensive rebound. And the putback, no good. RJ Tardif for the Thunderbirds, 10 seconds. As they're gonna try to get a shot here. 5.3 as it got knocked out of bounds from Nolan Horrigan. Tardif finds File, 2 seconds. File, push it up. Stepped on the line. Well, we said at the beginning it was not going to be 100-0. And after 3, 57-12 is our score. Just 13 points for BFA in that quarter. Time for worrying.
Start of the fourth quarter, BFA leads the Thunderbirds 57-12.
Can you do the math on that one?
Carry the 3.
You could have just said yes.
What's the R value?
Solve for sign. Hey, there's a three-pointer. Trip Rapjoy wanted to remind everybody that he is still here and still a threat. I think that's 19 for him now.
Yep. Along with 4 steals.
Well, great attempt to go towards the hoop from Lucas Vorse, but unfortunately, I think after the third defender knocked the ball, he lost it. Good drive and dish. Three-pointer, no good off the top of the board. It's Gardner with the rebound. Gardner leading the charge, goes outside to File. File behind the line. Three-pointer, good. And that's now 5 points for him.
For File, along with 3 rebounds. Got a block, too. So tied for a leading scorer on MVU with Trenton Gardner. Which, just with BFA's defense tonight, honestly, 5 points is something to be proud of against this team.
Absolutely. That said, it is a subplot to this contest that maybe we won't be following too closely. Great drive, great finish with the left hand from Lucas Roberts.
He has 7 points, along with a couple steals.
Gardner being met by a double team as soon as he crossed the timeline, and some contact there from Mac Albrico. Timing not quite right in his steal attempt. And there's the first team foul this quarter for BFA. dump from Tehan as the Thunderbirds were able to work it around and get a shot off, but Munger easily with another rebound. Baseline drive, baseline finish. Lucas Robert again. So many different scoring options for this Bobwhite team.
And they really have spread out the scoring. I mean, Raptoy with 19, Robert with 9, Fontaine and Munger each with 7, Stebbins and Brannon with 6. They really have spread it out tonight.
Looks like that foul is going to be called on Munger.
And they've had multiple really great baseline drives.
Gardner for 3, as Munger with another board. They find Munger and an easy bucket.
There we go.
I don't think any of his shots have been more than 4 feet from the hoop. File loses it. Good pass up ahead to Raptoy. Gets it back around, and Raptoy is going to try to... He's not going to try. They're just going to continue to work it around before the shot, though. They stopped it because File...
I mean, you've thought out his ankle a couple times.
Well, at that time it looked like it was the knee, and he just got up slowly, but then he's fine. Yeah, kind of like Gumby. Great floater, but Sweeney couldn't get it to fall. There was one a little bit farther away from Munger. Not able to fall either.
I appreciate that Munger took 2 full look-arounds before deciding to shoot it himself.
Tehan driving in, head full of steam, able to draw some contact. Northwestern Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation are partnering to raise awareness and prevent suicide in our community. If you or someone you care about is struggling, remember that we are here for you 24/7 and completely confidential. You can call NCSS Emergency Services anytime at 802-524-6554. Then you can press 1. Or you can connect with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling, texting, or chatting at 988. 1 call, 1 text, or 1 chat could save a life. Kemper Tehan. 2 for 2, 1 off the glass. 1 not requiring the board. As a clean slate of substitutions for the Bobwhites. They figured under 5 minutes seemed like an okay time. And Tehan, fresh off of a trip to the foul line on the offensive end, sent somebody to the foul line on the defensive end. Sullivan 7th. Student section delighted with BFA's current score.
I don't see the hand motions, though.
Well, I've seen a couple. One on the court, one to my right. Tehan picks up a pass that went too strong. Almost a moving screen there. No whistle. Gardner, good feed. Tehan can't get it to fall, but he's going to go back to the line after being fouled. I believe they're going to call that one on LaValle. That's the third on Michael LaValle. All right, so Kemper Tehan went 2 for 2, 1 off the glass, 1 not. What's he do this time? He couldn't make up his mind. He went in the middle, and see, that was the problem.
Next has to go off the top of the backboard.
Okay.
Can't touch the support, though, because that's out of bounds.
Sure.
Just has to be cleanly.
Well, it's going to have to be next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Save the date. Bobwhite's working it inside. And inside to outside as Sullivan Stebbins tried a three. Gardner lost it momentarily, but Tehan gets it. Tehan off his foot.
Coach Moshevedis telling his team swing the ball. I think a little bit too much dribbling on that possession.
Corner three. No good, but the offensive board, and another offensive board, and another offensive board. Another three-pointer. No good. But finally the Thunderbirds get it after 5 attempts from BFA on the same possession.
On that one possession, Michael LaValle doubled his rebound total from 2 to 4.
Looking through the stat sheet, and leading rebounder in the game, we've got a couple with 4. Tehan gets the roll. See if the Thunderbirds can make it to 20. You know, the score right now is looking very similar to the JV final score. Before this one got started, as Tehan gets another one. 4 points this quarter for Kemper Tehan. I believe 68-20 was the JV final score. BFA varsity squad surpassing that one as Lattison able to drive in and get on the scoreboard. And a timeout from MVU as they find themselves again down by 50.
And I think the stat that sticks out to me most, besides the score, team steals.
Yeah, so I thought that was what you were going to say.
Bobwhites with 18 steals, MVU with only 3.
I'd do another bit of statistical analysis for you. The fact that BFA's got more steals than rebounds.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen that in a game before.
Well, I don't know if I've kept that correctly before, Wesley. No, but I mean,
this either speaks to the anomalous nature of tonight's game, or
by poor
the unreliability of our stat guy.
I'm doing the best I can, okay?
You're doing a great job. You deserve a high five and a blueberry muffin.
All the $0 I'm getting paid to be here tonight. No, but it really is.
They're not paying you?
What? You guys are getting paid? But I mean, it really is just kind of the telltale sign of BFA's defense, leading to their offense. That I think they've gotten most of their opportunities off of stealing the ball, as opposed to MVU getting a clean look and then getting a rebound.
Rebound that time to Levi Walters, number 33. Walters, who gets outside. It's now even, the number of rebounds and steals. Three-pointer, no good. And another offensive rebound for BFA, but a travel.
That was number 5 for Michael LaValle.
Bless me. Well, there's a green light if I ever saw one from Mason Longway. Got the ball, barely had looked at the hoop, and he was firing in its direction.
I think if I'm Coach Moshevedis, what I'm noticing when MVU's running their offense is they've had multiple passes where I think just the timing is off, where they make a pass from the top to the wing while someone is also cutting down at the same time, and the person cutting down sort of has to like move their head so the ball doesn't hit them. So I think it's just kind of a timing thing, right? That the idea is there, is now you just work on the timing to get when that cut happens and when that pass happens.
You'll notice one new face in for MVU who just got that rebound, Gage Medor, another freshman on this squad. just the two who were called up, Medor and File. There's a steal and a transition layup. Levi Walters scores again. Tehan finds Gardner. Gardner back to Tehan. Dangerous pass. And how about that freshman? A rebound and 2 points. Gage Medor down low gets it to fall. And puts MVU over the 20-point mark. And great move from Oliver Lattison to get past the second defender.
And defender got a hand on the ball, and Lattison just held onto it so tight.
Double dribble.
It's like how a running back has to hold on to the ball.
Another long ball, no good. BFA's hit a couple of threes, but really has not been their night from distance. They haven't needed it to because of how many layups they've made. Their three-pointer is good. Mason Longway thrills everybody with that one.
We'll give you the upcoming games here for both teams. For BFA, they're going to play the 30th versus Essex, who's 1-1 right now, and then have a little bit of a, and then on January 3rd, playing at St. J Academy.
Nolan Horgan with a three-pointer.
And then for MVU, the next two, they play Saturday versus People's Academy, and then the 29th at BFA Fairfax, who they just played last week, lost 48-41.
Well, the final score of this game, BFA 76, MVU 24. Bryce, you want to give a final look at some scoring leaders?
Yep, Trip Raptoy, leading scorer for all players with 19. Actually, the only player in the game in double digits, oddly enough. But Lucas Robert and Ryan Munger each with 9. Anthony Fontaine and Sullivan Stebbins with 7. For MVU, 3 players with 5. Mason File, Kemper Tian, and Trenton Gardner.
As always, our thanks to all of our partners for bringing this broadcast to you. Northwestern Counseling and Support Services, the Afterglow Foundation, Northwestern Rehab Services, My Healthy Vermont, Notch, Stones Auto St. Albans and Fairfield, Stewart's Clarence Brown, Handy Cars, Union Bank, JC Image, and Collins Purley Sports and Fitness Center. Thanks, of course, mostly to you for watching this broadcast and supporting local media and local athletics. Please consider making a donation to Northwest Access. You can go to northwestaccess.tv again, or follow the channels through whichever means you are viewing this broadcast right now. Alongside Bryce Batchelder, I'm Wesley Kempton, wishing you all a happy holidays and a very good evening.